Hello, this is Good Jesse, and this is my first attempt at a Let's Play. And today I'm choosing Warhammer Quest, the adventure card game. It's been a while since I played it. I'm a bit rusty, so this will not be a how to play video by any means, but I'm hoping somebody might be able to relax and enjoy this game as much as I do, because I absolutely love this game. So we're going to be doing the campaign that comes in the box, starting with the quest number 1, A Foul Stench. The city of Champf had never seen anything like it. The youngest fell to sickness a moon ago, and their elders soon followed them into the grave. At first, it was believed to be a plague brought on by the debauchery of a traveling carnival, but the execution and burning of the entire troop did nothing to quell the problem. A perplexed and dying city was on the verge of a collapse, until an unsuspecting rat catcher named Jod began spreading tales of a peculiar odor, more peculiar than usual, emanating from the sewers. Jod informs you that he has also stumbled across a secret entrance dug into the tunnels on the outskirts of town. Something has recently been accessing the city's water supply, no doubt for devious purposes. You must investigate. Alright, so we're going to put the tracker thingy on that bit. Nemesis tracker, I think it's called. And this will go up out of sight. So I think I remember how to play this for the most part. First, we're going to start with our current location. Nope, that's the enemy deck. This game is very difficult, and I think I've lost every time on the first quest. But it's pretty cool how you move. They emulate you moving from location to location in a way that's pretty believable. First location is the Lost Dwarven Forge. It's ruins. Even after untold centuries, the forge still glows with heat. Tools lie at hand where their owners left them. So it takes 9 exploration points to traverse this area. At the end of the location phase, one hero may suffer 1 wound to claim 1 success. So we'll put this up here. I'm playing with the Warrior Priest, Bright Wizard, and Iron Breaker. The Bright Wizard is the hardest character to control, at least for me, because they hurt themselves as part of their technique. And each character will get 1 turn, and then the leader will get a 2nd turn per round. But let's continue. Okay, so we need to populate these enemies. So 3 enemies in the open, 1 in the shadows. So starting with the leader, an enemy is going to spawn engaged with them. So 1 goblin warrior. And for the Bright Wizard, a rat swarms. And I'll be adjusting the setup here slowly as we move. And then giant bats for the Iron Breaker. And then in the shadows, I believe you spawn face down until it's revealed, which is pretty cool. I adore this game. I so wish Games Workshop had not canceled their contract with Fantasy Flight before they had time to make new campaign expansions, because the system is very tight. Hopefully, it'll be that easy for me to remember how to play. Okay, so the first phase is going to go hero phase, enemy phase, location phase, peril phase. Starting with the party leader, going clockwise, each hero takes a turn activating, and hero must perform 1 action. And that's pretty much all they do for their turn. Okay, so starting with the Warrior Priest. Every character can attack, aid, rest, and explore. You have to move fast in this game. If you don't put a lot of effort into exploring, you easily get swept behind and lose. There's two ways you can lose and still continue on, but if you die, it's game over. So let's see, 2 wounds, 4 wounds, 1 wound. This guy does the most damage, so I think he's the most threatening. I think what I want to do is use his attack, so I'm going to pull it down to exhaust it. So it goes in this order. First, before the attack happens, I may engage one enemy. So I'm going to pull the rat swarm over to me off of the bright wizard. And then I attack with 3 dice. Before this action, you may exhaust another action to target 1 additional enemy and apply 1 success, 1 defense. So I'm going to exhaust. I can't exhaust. I believe I can't exhaust the one that has the refresh. Oh, it says right away. If an effect tells me to exhaust an action, can I choose my exhaust? My prepare action, the one with the circling arrows. No, this action can never be exhausted and cannot be used to pay the cost for acquiring exhaust. Okay, good. Hopefully, we won't have a lot of those. Okay, so that's what I thought. That would make the game much more easy than I remember it. Now, he's got the strongest explorer, so I didn't really think about that. And he's got the strongest aid. I am going to exhaust his aid. So I can target both of these guys. And I'm going to get a bonus of 1 defense and 1 attack. So he's rolling 3 dice. And then 1 enemy dice per engaged enemy. Two criticals. That's going to add 2 successes, and then I re-roll these. Wow, that's a lot of successes. Now, the Nemesis effect has happened, been triggered, so we're gonna trigger Odious Grumps, who's in the, he's in, I think it's called the lair. Distribute 2 wounds among the party. I'll take 1 here and 1 here. That's been resolved. One of these enemies, I think the stronger always inflicts the wounds. So the 2 wounds from the peril effect I can't do anything about. It's automatic. The 2 wounds incoming from the goblin warrior to the warrior priest. He's got the bonus of 1 defense from my action. Oh, he didn't roll any shields, so that's going to block 1, and he'll take 1 additional wound. Because even if these guys die from my attack, they still resolved their attacks. So now I've also got 1 bonus success, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8 to spread between 2 targets, because I can target up to 2. So I took that perk. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, they're hell of dead. Those are both eliminated. That's all resolved. These have been used. That's his first turn. Then I'm going to flip this over. This is just how I keep track. So he's got his second turn, and then that'll be the end of the hero phase. Now it is the Bright Wizard's turn. Oh, by the way, the rules say that if you play solo, you only use 2 heroes, and it's so hard. I would highly recommend playing 3, which it scales appropriately anyway. It didn't seem to matter how many hit points my heroes had with 2 heroes. That just wasn't enough. Now the Bright Wizard has a ranged attack. Her Explore sucks, so I'm not going to use that. Her Aid is pretty decent. I think I'm going to just go ahead and try and clear the field a little bit and use her attack, so her fireball. Bright wizards, also called pyromancers, are masters of the lore of fire. Fireball is one of the first spells they learn. So first, I may engage one enemy. I don't want to, because he's at a range, so they won't get an attack on me. Ranged attack, 2 dice. Before this action, you may suffer 1 wound to target 1 additional enemy. I don't think I'm going to do that either. So, we're just going to roll 2 attack dice. And we don't know what we're targeting. Wow, what a hit. We find out who's here. An orc boy. Good choice. Orc boy has a resilience of 1. So he's going to absorb 1 wound before he takes any. So 4 is exactly what we needed to one-shot this guy. The average orc is larger, tougher, stronger, and more violent than the average human. Alright, and this was an elite, so if they're red, they're elite, they have higher stats than normal. So that was pretty good. And then we're on to the Iron Breaker, who's engaged with a giant bat. Now that's interesting. While in the shadows, this enemy cannot suffer wounds. When the party travels, this enemy is not discarded. Any enemies in the shadows, if we move location, the shadows get left behind. Any enemies engaged with us stick with us as we move. It's pretty cool. It really does emulate the feeling of movement through an actual location, a physical place. Okay, so at a glance, his explorer is good, his rest is good, his attack is good, his aid is not great. Tempted to explore and just take 1 damage. Actually, if I explore, I roll for they won't necessarily hit me, but they might trigger the Nemesis effect, which is a 1 in 6 chance, and will do 2 damage to the party. I'm going to explore. If this hero is the party leader, he activates... Oh yeah, never mind. That's not anything special. Explore. So, first things first. 2 dice and 1 Nemesis die. Or, excuse me, 1... I don't know what it's called. Enemy die? Ah. Well, so, 1 wound coming in, 1 shield, that's negated. Only 1 success for the explore action, so we're going to put 1 on the location, the Lost Dwarven Forge. Continuing on down the card, draw 1 dungeon card. Either resolve that card or exhaust an action to place it on the bottom of the dungeon deck. Sometimes the dungeon cards are benevolent and sometimes they're malevolent. Let's find out. Looks pretty good to me at a glance. Explosive charges item. You may discard this card after a hero's activation to choose an engagement zone. Each enemy in that zone suffers 1 wound. That's freaking awesome, man. Cool. Yeah, I mean, appropriate for the dwarf, in my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and put these on the character card. Okay, so now we're coming back. The second activation for the warrior priest. Definitely going to explore. So he's not engaged with any enemies, so no enemy dice are rolled. Let's see, first, you do this in order of how it's written. First we roll the 3 dice. Nice. 2 crits, that's 2 successes. Okay, shields don't do anything. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're up 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're up to 5. So 3 and 2 progress on the location. That's resolved. Let's see. Then, moving down, draw and resolve one dungeon card. Elf Cap Fungus. Item. You may discard this card after your activation to roll one hero die. On a success, perform one additional action, otherwise suffer 2 wounds. Sounds fun. Push your luck kind of item. In a pinch, could be handy. Oh yeah, so I was going to mention that every hero starts out with the capacity to hold one piece of kit. That's weapon, armor, accessory, but items are unlimited, I believe. But they expire at the end of each quest. Okay, so we came to the end of the first hero phase. Moving on to the enemy phase. Starting with the party leader, going clockwise, each hero activates one readied enemy. Until every ready enemy is activated, there is none. Okay. Oh no, there's one enemy. Okay, sorry. Giant bats. So it's gonna do these 2 activations. First, it's going to retreat, and then it's going to attack someone from a distance. Starting with the party leader, that's the warrior priest. Each hero activates one ready enemy. Okay. When activating a ready enemy, choose one in your engagement zone. If there isn't one, choose one in the shadow zone. If there isn't one there, skip your turn. Okay, so this is to be precise here. First the warrior priest goes, then the bright wizard, and then the iron breaker, and it keeps going until we run out of enemies. So on the iron breaker, this guy's going to retreat and then inflict against the hero that activated him. So that's going to do 1 wound to the iron breaker. And then this exhausts, and then after all the enemies have exhausted, they all ready. That's the end of the enemy phase. Now we're on to the location phase. Oh, by the way, I was totally inspired to do this, or to give this a shot, by Daniel at the Dungeon Dive. His videos on Advanced Hero Quest and Warhammer Quest, I've been binge watching for over a month now during a really difficult time. They've been incredibly soothing, and not only did they make me want to play again, they got me thinking that perhaps I could do something similar for someone. So if that happens, cool. If it doesn't happen, that's alright too. So now we're on to the location phase. Resolve any location effect described on the active location card. Okay, that's all we can do right now. So, let's see. We're in the Lost Dwarven Forge. We don't have enough to have completed exploring this location yet, so we can't move on. So, all this does is offers us, it seems like a benevolent location. We can offer our blood to the Dwarven Forge in exchange for 1 success. You know what? I'm playing with the advanced warrior priest cards. That's probably why things went so well. We'll let it slide. Let's say that the warrior priest just came back from a hell of a good run in a different quest. Man, you should have been there, man. We'll just let him have that one-time boost. I thought he was pretty freaking powerful. Okay, yeah, I didn't remember him starting off with 3 attack dice. No biggie. Let's call it my beginner's handicap for 1 turn. Okay, so aid, you and the target each heal 1, or rest is only 1 die. He's not super good at healing. I'm just trying to figure out if it's worth taking a wound. I don't think so. I'm not going to use the location effect. Okay, then the last phase is the peril phase. With the peril token one space to the right, resolve any effects. So we just move this up the tracker one, just slightly off screen, but we start here, we move here. When we get to the green space, this happens. When we get to the blue space, this happens, etc. So it gets progressively more difficult. And it gets nasty, I'll tell you. Then the torch changes to the next hero. And we start the second round. Now, the Bright Wizard's Explore sucks. She can't attack. Okay, I think she's gonna do an aid. So I'm gonna choose the Warrior Priest. Roll 2 dice. 2 successes. So that gives the Warrior Priest 2 successes to add to any one of his actions to use later. I'm going to put it on the Explore action. Yeah, I'll just do that. Okay. Moving down the card. The target hero may ready 1 action and may suffer 1 wound to claim 1 additional success, and ready 1 additional action. That's okay. We're just going to ready Explore. More than simply fire, Axe She is the magic wind of passion and anger. Alright. Alright, then I'm going to flip this. You know, the bats are in the shadows, so they're not hurting anyone at the moment. On to the Iron Breaker. You may engage, I'm going to do his attack. You may engage up to 2 enemies. So I'm going to pull the bats from the shadows. Wait. Okay. Oh, that's, yeah, good reminder. They can't be attacked at a distance anyway. Some enemies can't be pulled from the shadows, so I just wanted to make sure. So, his attack is 2 attack dice, and then now I've got to roll 1 enemy dice. So I'm engaged. Nice. 1 success, 1 defense, no attack incoming. No successful attack at least. Uskular Urki Karazankor. Reminds me of Klingon. A Kazalid battle cry. Anyway, so 1 successful, whatever, 1 wound thingy. That's all enough to take him out. He's dead, alright? Back to the Warrior Priest. So I'm going to do Explore. Now I don't have to use these additional successes. I can use them when I want. By the way, I can only have up to 2 per card at any time. So I'm going to go ahead and add those to the pool. And I'll roll 2 dice. Okay, 4 successes. There's already 5. That brings us up to 9, which is exactly what we need to move on to the next location. Then, continuing down the card, draw and resolve 1 dungeon card. Cool Waters event. You wouldn't have expected to find a spring here of all places, but the water is clean and refreshing. You may either recover 2 wounds or ready 1 action. I will recover 2 wounds. Actually, since the next action you'd have to take is a rest, I'm gonna, and we're moving on to travel, I'm gonna go ahead and preemptively ready. My attack. Is that a good idea? I don't know. No, I'm gonna heal the 2 wounds. Screw it. When's this ever gonna happen again? Okay, and then I believe that goes into the discard pile. So he healed. Okay, choose 1 hero. That hero claims 1 success. That's rad. I presume that he can choose himself. I'm gonna go ahead and put the success on the Explore action of the Bright Wizard, because she's gonna have to do that soon enough. Now we're on to, that's the end of that. Then fear not, but bring his light into dark places and his judgment to the wicked. The Life of Sigmar, First Apocrypha. Alright, Bright Wizard. Oh, you know what? There's no reason for her to explore right now. Oh, I don't have to use that, though. Okay, good. So, we can't go above 9. Oh, excuse me. Let me zoom back out here. We can't go above the amount needed. We're already there. So, she's going to use... You can use your action when it doesn't apply anyway. And then that will ready all of her actions. Explore. We won't even roll. It won't matter. Draw and resolve 1 dungeon card. Locked gold chest. You may discard this card after your activation and exhaust 1 action to claim 2 gear cards. That sounds rad. Continuing down, you may suffer up to 2 wounds to claim 1 success for each wound suffered. Let's do it. I mean, that's the way she's meant to be played. And if I'm ever gonna get good at, like, supporting, I gotta try it. So she's gonna take 2 wounds to buff her fireball action for later. Then, you may discard this card after activation. Exhaust 1 action card to claim 2 gear cards. She's tricky for me. You always have to hurt someone in order to make it work. Her aid is target. The target hero may ready 1 action and may suffer 1 wound to claim 1 additional success and ready 1 additional action. The target hero may ready 1 action and may suffer a wound to claim 1 success, and that's pretty strong, actually. I'm gonna go ahead and just exhaust the aid. Fan the flames. Discard this card to draw 2 gear cards. Now, she'll only be able to keep 1 and discard the other. Let's see what we get. Oh, whoops. I guess I keep forgetting to pan out. Accessory Helm. Oaken Circlet. Before your activation, recover 1 wound. Limit once per round. That sounds pretty good for her. Accessory. Armor Heavy. Apply +4 to your health value. Wow, those are both really good choices. But I think I'm gonna take the auto heal for right now. And then this goes in the discard pile. And the next person to pull from the gear deck could actually take this instead. And so that's the end of her second turn. That's the end of the hero phase. And we're on to the enemy phase. There are no enemies on the field right now. Now the location phase. Resolve any location effect described at the active location card. So we can... 1 hero may suffer 1 wound to claim 1 success. I'm going to go ahead and let the warrior priest do that to get a success on his Righteous Fury attack, even though it's not readied. Location is fully explored. During the location phase, if a location is fully explored, the party may choose to travel to a new location. Okay, basically all that's going to happen now. We have to resolve the effect. We already did. It's optional, so we're going to move on to the next area. Crumbling Bridge. Ruins. The narrow bridge is the only way forward. Many enemies stand on the bridge, blocking the path. Okay. And then we're going to populate, or whatever it would be called, spawn this many enemies. So 3 engage, starting with the Torchbearer. Giant Bat Elites, Ironbreaker, Gigantic Spider, level 2 creature. This first quest has level 1 and 2 creatures, which is pretty rad. Level 2 Orc Boy on the Warrior Priest, and then 1 enemy in face down in the shadows. This game's freaking awesome. Okay, And then that's going to be the end of the location. The location effect doesn't come until the next time we come to the location phase. Okay, now we're on to the peril phase. So we're just going to move the peril tracker up here one forward. We're on the green space now. Unfortunately. A grinning goblin steps into view. This is Grump's place. He waves a nasty, filth-smeared dagger at you. Zog off! I's gonna shank yer with me shank. Makes sense? Spawn odious grump. So, if he's spawning, he's gonna spawn on the torchbearer. And let's see, he's got 1 resilience, 6 wounds, 2 attack damage. He's got a special ability, Prey. This enemy engages the hero with the most wounds. Okay. Then we're going to move the torch to the Iron Breaker, and we'll start the next hero phase. Explosive charges. You may discard this card after a hero's activation to choose an engagement zone. Each enemy in that zone suffers 1 wound. That will cut through his resilience, so it could be good timing for that. But first things first. Okay, unfortunately, his attack is not readied. This is quite the puzzle. Okay, I think I got this. I'm gonna do aid over to the warrior priest. Before this action, you may engage 1 enemy engaged with the target hero. I'm looking at taking a lot of wounds right now. I'm going to pull him over here before this action. Okay, so now I've got 2 guys engaged with me and 1 action dice for the actual aid actions. Let's see. Ouch. So 1 success for the aid action. So that's going to allow the warrior priest to ready 1 action, which I'm going to ready aid. And he gets 1 bonus success to put wherever he wants. I'm going to put it on his rest. Continuing on. So both of these guys get to attack. That's 1 and 2 for 3 damage. That's 2 and 3. The target hero may ready 1 action. We did that. Ready all of your actions. Okay, then you may discard this card after a hero's activation to choose an engagement zone. Each enemy in that zone suffers 1 wound. At this point, I kind of feel like I might want to just do it to my own engagement zone, but I think I'm going to stick with the original plan and use the explosive charges and set them off here. And that's going to put 1 damage on Elite Giant Bats and on Odious Grump. That's the end of the first activation of the Iron Breaker. Okay, on to the Warrior Priest. He could use his Elf Cap Fungus to potentially take a second action, if need be. We may. I was going to aid back, but I forgot that aid allows you, it always allows the aided person to ready 1 action. So it sucks to let that go to waste. Now this is interesting. Man, I mean, I need 2 people to figure out what to do. Can be quite complicated. Okay, this is a 6 location. Because I could rest and ready all my actions, then try and use the Elf Cap Fungus. I'm going to try to do all the things, I guess. I'm going to rest. So he can exhaust 1 enemy engaged with him. There is none. Rest is 1. I think I'm going to save that success for later. Nice. So heal 1 for 1 success. Choose 1 hero. Oh, nice. That hero becomes empowered. You don't say. Empowered is, do not exhaust the next action card you use. During that action, apply 1 success, 1 shield. After that action, discard this condition. I'm going to put it on the Bright Wizard. Okay, and then ready all your actions. Boom. Then, the Elf Cap Fungus. You may discard this card after your activation to roll 1 hero die. On a success, oh yeah, perform 1 additional action, otherwise suffer 2 wounds. Double success should do it. So now I'm going to do Righteous Fury, his attack. First, you may engage 1 enemy. I will. I'm going to pull Odious Grump over here. I'm going to put this in to my successes. Attack, 2 dice. Bonus action, you may exhaust another action to target 1 additional enemy and apply an additional success. I will. I'm going to exhaust aid, and that's going to... I can't target it in the second enemy because I'm only engaged with 1, and he's got melee. And then I'm going to roll 2 attack dice, 1 enemy die. Nice. So the enemy did not get a successful attack. And I got a crit, so that's another success. And another crit. That's another success. So this can go forever, by the way. Ho 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 ho. 2, 4, 6, 7. -1, 6. Okay, this guy's... I just one-shotted this guy. Nice. Now, what happens to this guy? If he's defeated... I don't think he ever completely gets defeated. He just gets removed from play. Let me see if there's, just to verify, I think he just goes back to the Nemesis Slayer. After Odious Grump is defeated, he flees, and the party tracks him. Place his enemy card in the Nemesis Slayer, then add 4 progress to the current location. I knew it said it somewhere. Okay, well that's good to know. So by defeating the Nemesis, it allows a boost on the progress of the current location. That is rad. Okay, so let's do that. 4. Didn't even have to use her empowered thingy. So yeah, he kind of like moves on, runs down the path. Okay, that was the Warrior Priest. Excellent. Bright Wizard. Before your activation, recover 1 wound per round. Okay, so she's got a free action without exhausting it. So we're at 4. We still need 2 more. So let's go ahead and we'll do Explore. Wait, we got enemies to kill here. You may engage 1 enemy. Ranged attack. Suffer 1 wounded, target an additional enemy. That sounds pretty good. I'm going to do that. And I don't need to exhaust, so we're going to use this on this. Fireball. You may engage 1 enemy. So I'm going to pull the Orc Boy. I'm going to put these 2 successes in. This gives me +1 success and +1 shield. Ranged attack. Before this you must suffer 1 wound to target 1 additional enemy. I will. Ouch. So she's going to target these 2 enemies. All these successes. 2 attack dice and 2 enemy dice representing both of the enemies she's engaged with. They both attack. She got 1 shield plus the bonus shield here, so that's 2 defense. Incoming is 1, 2, 3. 2 are blocked. She takes 1 wound. That's resolved. Then she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's enough to get through the resilience and to finish this guy off. So both these guys are fireballed toast. Oh, I didn't even notice this person in the shadows. Okay, well, then this exhausts. Empowered is super cool. I hope I remember to. Like, the amount of details here is the maximum I can handle in any game. I get overwhelmed pretty easily when it comes to options. Okay, so now we're on the second activation of the Iron Breaker. He could use some healing for sure. For now, we're not going to be able to travel. All the enemies get a free activation before we travel, before we leave the Crumbling Bridge. He could rest, or he could fight. This might be his best opportunity to rest, so let's go ahead and do that. He hates to admit that he needs to rest, but rest, stubborn resolve. Exactly. Orcs and dwarfs agree on only one thing. Dwarfs are hard to kill. That's hilarious. Okay, so you may exhaust one non-nemesis enemy engaged with you. Nemesis. So he's going to exhaust. So this guy won't attack right now or during the enemy activation phase. So I guess he like grapples with him or something. So rest is 2 dice, plus he gets 2 free defense in case there was more enemies there. Come on, 2 successes. So he's going to heal 2 wounds. And that's the end of the hero phase. Now we're on to the enemy phase, starting with the torchbearer. So he's going to activate first something engaged with. There's nothing, so then it's going to fall back to the shadows. So what's here? Ooh, a Night Goblin Archer Elite. 3 damage. Little rascal. So he's going to activate. First he's going to retreat to the shadows if he isn't already. Let's see. Any seasoned goblin hunter should have no difficulty in telling the night goblin from the regular sort. The night goblin smells rather worse. And then he's going to inflict 3 damage. Ouch. And then all the enemies will ready. And then we move to the location phase. We don't have enough to travel, and the location effect only activates during travel. Then we're on to the peril phase, and we'll move the tracker up 1 position into a blank space. Then the torch will move to the next hero, and starting the next hero round. 2 enemies with 3 resilience each. We only need 2 successes to move on. I think I'm gonna rest with the warrior priest. You may exhaust 1 non-nemesis enemy engaged with you. There is none. Or he could explore. How do I heal this guy? By aiding? Yes. I think he's going to explore. So, it's 2 dice. Come on, baby. Alright, 3. That's more than enough. Bring us up to 6 on the location. Draw and resolve 1 dungeon card. Come on, we're due for a negative effect. Flies of Nurgle sounds negative. The fat black flies swarm in the air before you. As they land on your skin and clothes, a vile stench turns your stomach and makes your flesh crawl. You may become sickened to choose 1 hero. You may become sickened to choose 1 hero. Each enemy engaged with that hero suffers 1 wound. What does sicken do? During your action, apply -1 success. Before you rest, you discard this condition. Well, he's set to rest next, so I'll accept the blessing of Nurgle. becomes sickened. Disgusting. And then you may become sickened to choose one hero. Each enemy engaged with that hero. So the flies actually swarm and hurt not only the priest, but the gigantic spider. You'd think he'd eat them. Maybe they're too spoiled. Okay, so then flip that over. The Bright Wizard. You may engage one enemy. No, thank you. Okay, so first she's gonna heal one with her Oaken Circlet. Fireball ranged attack. Before your action may suffer this to do one. No, I'm just gonna go ahead and do a good old-fashioned fireball. And it's 2 attack. Oop, wrong dice. No engaged enemies, so don't need to roll that. 2. Not quite enough. Darn it. Then on to the Iron Breaker. He's gonna do an attack as well. He's probably gonna take some wounds. You may engage up to 2 enemies. So I'll pull the Archer. Elite. 2 attack dice. Before this action, you may target up to 2 enemies. Right, okay. I can pull 2 enemies and swing inexorable, I can't say that word. Inexorable advance. Whatever. Anyway, he's gonna swing at both these guys. Here we go. Oh, that's not good. I'm going to start with the Nemesis effect. That's from Odious Grump. Distribute 2 wounds amongst the party. Alright, first, actually, you know what? I'm going to put them both on the Warrior Priest because he's in line to rest anyway. Then, only 1 enemy attacks. You always choose the one that inflicts the most damage. So, 3 wounds incoming. He rolled 1 shield, so he'll take 2 wounds. So he's at 10 hit points. And then 1 success, we'll apply it to the Goblin Archer Elite and finish him off. And then last step is the Warrior Priest. During your action, apply -1 success. Before your rest action, discard this condition. Before your rest action. So I guess I don't suffer that consequence. Before your rest action, discard this condition, so it's not here then. Cool. So then I'm gonna rest and use this towards the successes. Nice. 3 successes, so he's fully healed. And choose 1 hero. That hero becomes empowered. I'm going to go ahead and choose the Iron Breaker. It seems like he could use some kind of help. That's exhausted. That's resolved. Ready all your actions. Okay, so now it is the enemy phase. Starting with the Warrior Priest. No enemy in front of him. None in the shadows. Bright Wizard, same thing. Iron Breaker, unfortunately. The gigantic spider is going to activate. First it's going to inflict. That's 1 wound. So that's at 9 wounds now. Then ensnare. If this enemy is in the shadows, exhaust 1 action. So he's not. But then he's going to retreat to the shadows. And then he'll exhaust. We're out of enemies, so all the enemies ready. Next is the location phase. So we're ready to travel. Oh, this is interesting. This usually doesn't happen. Since this guy is now in the shadows, when we move, he's going to be left behind. Aww. Let's see. Before the party Before the party travels from this location, all enemies activate, then ready. So he's going to activate again. Since he's in the shadows already, the Torchbearer is going to become the target. Inflict. That's 1 wound. Ensnare. If the enemy is in the shadows, exhaust 1 action. I'm going to exhaust Explore. Feel like I'm gonna need aid. And then retreat, and then exhaust, and then we move. So this guy gets left behind in the shadows. Bye-bye. And we'll pull the next location. Doing pretty good on our pace. Oh my gosh. The camera's been zoomed out this whole time. That's what happens, man. A throng of webs. Thick webs choke the area, threatening to ensnare any interlopers as easily as the flies, rats, goblins, and horses these spiders seem to feed upon. And it's a 7. We need 7 points to traverse. The spawning is 1 engaged enemy. It's a level 1 ghoul. Nice. Good variety. And then 3 in the shadows. Interesting. Throng of webs. Cave. And then we're going to do the peril phase and move the tracker up 1. It's still on a blank space. Next time, it's going to spawn some stuff. Okay, and then the torch is going to move to the bright wizard. See what kind of thing. Disease. This enemy engaged with you becomes sickened. The Ironbreaker dwarf needs food badly. Okay, starting with the bright wizard. Pretty clear what she should do, I think. First, heal 1 with the oaken circlet. And then she'll explore. There's no enemies engaged with her. We'll add that to the successes. Alright, not bad. 2 successes to the location. Draw and resolve 1 dungeon card. I'm going to not zoom in this time. Perilous path event. The ground is unsteady, ready to give way at any moment. It appears to lead towards the way out, however. You may add 2 progress to the location. If you do, roll 1 enemy die. On a success, suffer 1 wound and become bleeding. I think it's worth it. Oh, 1 wound and bleeding. Bleeding is nasty if I'm not mistaken. After your activation, suffer 1 wound. After another hero aids you, discard this card. So she needs to be aided to get that off. Continuing down the card. You may suffer up to 2 wounds to claim 1 success for each wound suffered. Okay. She's going to take 2 wounds. She's going to add 2 successes to her fireball. Then ready all of your actions. Oh yeah. However, after your activation, suffer 1 wound. She's down to 9 hit points. I think the best thing for the Ironbreaker to do right now is to ready his cards. I'm not very good with aid. Before this action, we may engage 1 enemy engaged with the target hero. So I'm going to aid the warrior priest. I'm going to pull... Am I? Yes. I'm going to pull this guy over here. And then I'm going to roll 1 die plus this. Wait a minute. The empowered allows me to use an action without exhausting. It's okay. I think I still would rather do this. Okay. So rolling. Ah. No successes. No attack either. Nemesis effect. 2 wounds to the party. I'm going to put them both on the priest because he needs to get off his butt and do some priesting. But I get +1 success to my action for the aid. So that's going over to the warrior priest. And he may ready 1 action. Boom. I think I'm going to put this success on the explorer. Ready all your actions. Empowered is discarded. It's gonna be hard to keep track of who's... I wish that this thing was like 1/4 of the size. It's ridiculous. I'd like to just replace it with a token. Nevertheless, back to the warrior priest. Okay, he's going to explore. Gonna put that in towards the total. No enemies engaged with him. Come on. Ooh, nice. A crit. That doesn't count for anything. Ah, not great. 2 successes. So we're at 4 of 7. Explore. Draw and resolve 1 dungeon card. A will. Font of Flame. Event. Every few seconds, a bright flame belches from the floor in the center of the room. The heat is unbearable. You may suffer 1 wound. If you do, an enemy engaged with you also suffers 1 wound. That doesn't apply. This little symbol here means to draw from the treasure deck. Now, instead of drawing from the treasure deck, I can actually take a card from the discard pile. Don't mind if I do. Half plate, apply 4 to your health. That's freaking awesome. And then choose 1 hero. That hero claims 1 success. I think this guy needs help healing, but we have so many enemies on the board. I'm going to add it to his attack for right now. Am I? Actually, no, I'm going to put it on his for later. Save a little for later. Oh yeah, she needed to be aided to get this bleeding off. I always forget about that. So the Bright Wizard's second turn. First, she's going to heal 1. Then, think I want to shoot some fireballs today. You may engage 1 enemy. No thanks. Before this action, you may suffer 1 wound to target 1 additional enemy. Yeah? Okay. This could get nasty real fast. So she's gonna fireball this target and this target. Put these 2 successes in towards the result. No enemies are engaged with her. Come on. Not great. 1, 2, 3. Giant bats. Ooh, perfect. While in the shadow, this enemy cannot suffer wounds. Bummer. So 1, 2, 3. This guy's dead. That's pretty cool. That's exhausted. No, sorry. This is exhausted. Then after your activation, suffer 1 wound. Okay, I need to... Well, that's the end of the hero phase. Ouch. Now it's the enemy phase. Starting with the Torchbearer. I'm going to start by activating the giant bats. They're going to retreat and then inflict 1 wound. So she's at half health now. Then the Iron Breaker needs to activate 1. Inflict. This is Goblin Warrior. 1 wound. He's at 8 wounds now. Pray. The enemy engages the hero with the most health. 8. 7. 14. 18. Okay. It's going to move here and then exhaust. Then the Warrior Priest activates 1. Giant Spider. Gigantic Spider. Inflict 1 wound. It's 4 wounds. Ensnare. If this enemy is in the shadows, exhaust 1 action. Damn. I'm gonna have to do aid. Damn. I guess I don't. I'll exhaust his attack. and then retreat to the shadows, and then exhaust. Then all the enemies ready for the next round. And we go to the location phase. At the end of the location phase, the party leader exhausts one action. I haven't been doing that. For some reason, I was thinking it was at the end of, unless this is, actually this might be the end of the first round. I don't remember, but the leader is currently the Bright Wizard. I'm going to exhaust her rest. No. Her aid. Because the warrior priest should be up first. Then, oh boy, the peril tracker moves up to the next event. I warned yer. Grump leaps from the darkness, his blade flashing. Ain't nothing for your ear. Spawn Odious Grump. If he is already in play, he recovers all wounds. Regardless, he activates and readies. He gets a free activation, so he's going to spawn on the leader. Inflict 2 wounds. Oh, geez, she's down to 5. Prey. This enemy engages the hero with the most wounds. And hello, freaking warrior priest. And then he exhausts, and then readies. That's the end of the nemesis phase? Peril phase. Okay, now we're on to the next hero phase. We're going to ready the torch. Now, we have 4 progress on the location. We've got, how many left? 1? 1. If we defeat Odious now, it'll push us into the next section. And then we'll have to defeat him one last time. 1-1-1, that's not much of a threat. I think I'm going to attack. You may engage up to 2 enemies. I'm going to pull the Goblin Warrior and these bats. And I may target up to 2 enemies. Come on. Alright, 1 critical. That's good. And another critical. And a success. Okay, the peril effect. Distribute 2 wounds among the party. I think they're going to both go to the priest. He's the only one that can afford them. Then the strongest of these are going to attack for 1. He rolled 1 shield, so it's blocked. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds to distribute. 1, 2, 3. Both of these enemies are defeated. Not bad. That's the end of his first activation. Then the warrior priest is going to do aid. So it's 2 dice plus the enemy dice for Odious. 1 critical. Okay. Incoming attack, that's 2 wounds. He's got 8 wounds now. 3 successes for aid on the Bright Wizard. So bleeding is discarded. And she gets to distribute 3 success tokens, however she wants. And she'll get to ready 1 action. Of course, it's going to be the fireball. You and the target each recover 1 wound. See, that's the thing that I need to utilize more. It's hard for me to manage. It's probably his strongest asset is that he can heal 1 wound for himself and another every turn. In theory, that's the warrior priest turn. On to the Bright Wizard. First, she's going to recover 1 wound with the oaken circlet. You may engage 1 enemy. Ranged attack, foe's attack. You may suffer 1 wound to target additional enemy. No thank you. She's just going to shoot a freaking fireball, man. A freaking fireball. At Odious. 2 successes. 2 dice. Come on, baby. Big rolls. Okay. 1 crit. Not bad. Come on. Double. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -1. That for the resilience. 4 wounds. It's good, but not enough. Okay, and she's no longer bleeding, fortunately. And then next, the Iron Breaker is going to rest. I think. Or aid. He doesn't have much for aid. But I still kind of like that. Okay. He's going to aid. So he'll ready all of his actions. But first, it's supposed to be for his action. I'm not going to engage. Target hero may ready 1 action. Going to ready his attack. Come on. A crit. Not bad. Just 1 success. He's going to add that to his attack. Aid. Okay. Target may... Okay, ready all actions. Alright, I got it. Iron Breakers learn to use their shield to protect both themselves and their allies. That's nice. That was his second activation. That means it's the enemy phase. Starting with the Iron Breaker, it's going to activate this guy in the shadows. Inflict 1 wound. Oh man. Ensnare, if this enemy is in the shadows, exhaust 1 action. Let's do Explore. And then Retreat. And then Exhaust. And then the Warrior Priest is going to activate Odious Grunt. It's going to inflict 2 wounds. It's 9 wounds. Then Pray. And this enemy engages the hero with the most wounds. So let's see. 9 plus 4, 5, 12. Yeah, he still has the most wounds by far. Okay, and then all the enemies are going to ready. And then the location phase. At the end of the location phase, the party leader exhausts 1 action. Oh, man. Guess it's going to be his attack this time. And then the peril tracker moves up. We're almost out of time. And it's on to the next hero phase. Ready the torch and move it to the next. Okay, fingers crossed that we can take this guy out. He may engage 1 enemy. Before he can't attack, he could buff by exhausting an additional action, but all he has is his refresher 1, so he can't do that. Attack 1, yeah, so he's going to attack Odious. Come on, big roll. A crit, that's not bad. Oh, Odious didn't attack, that's awesome. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. -1 is 3, that's 6, 7. So Odious is out. After Odious is defeated, he flees, and the party tracks him. Place his enemy card in the Nemesis lair. Add 4 progress to the current location. So, that's fantastic. That's about as good as you can hope for in this game, so. Bright Wizard. Now, if we leave this guy in the shadows, he's gonna just go bye-bye. So let's... I think it's worth it. Starting her action. First, she's going to heal 1 from the Oaken Circlet. And then we'll rest today. You may exhaust one non-nemesis enemy engaged with you. Rest. Put that towards that. If her remaining health was 4 or less. No, it's not. Okay, so if she's really critically low, she gets a bonus 2 to her rest. Okay, 2 successes. So she's at 8 hit points now. Health, or whatever. That's her turn. Then the Iron Breaker, he's going to rest. You may exhaust an enemy engaged with you. He doesn't have one. Rest. Okay. He gets 2 die as well. Come on. Nice. 3, 4. Not bad. Just occurred to me. I feel like there is a better way to track wounds in this game. I wish I had a... It sucks to have to do the math every time, because I've had moments where I was like, oh, I was actually dead by 1 hit point, and I just miscalculated, because looking at stacks of tokens. I guess what I could do is put all the tokens for all the health and then take them away. But not mid-game. Okay, so that was great. That's about as good as that could go. Second action for the Warrior Priest. He's going to rest. You may exhaust an enemy. There is none. Rest for 1. 1 success. So heals 1. Choose 1 hero. That hero becomes empowered. Ready all your actions. Who is going to need to be empowered? Somebody who has an attack, I think, is probably going to be the next most useful thing. So he's going to empower himself. I choose me. Pikachu, I choose me. Then it's the enemy phase, starting with the Torchbearer. Inflict 1. So there goes that wound that I just healed. Ensnare, exhaust an action. I'm going to do aid. Yes or no? Yes or no? That's the only 2 possible answers. No, I'm going to do explore. Okay. Because I know that on the final card, you not only have to explore all of the exploration points, you also have to defeat Odious one more time, I believe. And you might have to even clear the whole board. I don't recall for sure. Okay, so that's the end of the enemy phase. Next is the location phase, and then if we travel, we don't do this at the end of the location phase thing. So we're just going to move straight on to the next and final location. Now remember to zoom out this time. Grump's Sump. Civilized. Barrels of a pungent green fluid have been dumped into the reservoir here. Undoubtedly the source of Champ's ailment. Dozens more barrels are still full of the substance, ready to continue the vile work. At the end of the location phase, spawn 1 enemy. So every phase we don't complete, and it's a 10 exploration, it's going to spawn 1 additional enemy each round. Okay, so also let's zoom out. So this guy was in the shadows, so he goes bye-bye. But we're going to spawn 3 fresh enemies. 1, Clan Rats, Skaven, level 1. Dude, I am so shocked at how much variety they were able to pull off with this small box of cards. And then 1 in the shadows. Perfect. And then we just ran out of enemies, so I'm going to shuffle up the discard pile of the enemy deck. Because that's what you do. Okay. This game's so great. Okay. Starting with the Bright Wizard. First, she's going to heal 1 from her Oaken Circlet. During the location phase, if Grump Stump is fully explored, resolve reward on the back of the sheet. I guess we don't even have to defeat Odious. Or we don't have to clear all the enemies either. We just have to get 10 and get to the end of a phase. But if Odious spawns and we kill him, we get a bonus 4. So anyway, that's what we got to deal with. We'll do it one way or another, or we'll die. Okay. And that oaken circlet, the art is actually really awesome, detailed. I love it when they actually put art on like item decks and stuff. It adds so much to the immersion of a game. It kills me when GW has a game where they don't have art on a card, like on a deck of cards or whatever. It's just like, really? They have an arsenal of like stock art hanging back. Okay, I almost lost track of where I am. I don't think I moved the peril tracker up. I didn't. That was supposed to happen before I just flipped the thing over here. I got so involved in the location phase, I forgot about the peril phase. So next turn, Odious Grump is going to come back. Now, unfortunately, the only action she has is to explore. So, 1 die, 1 for the enemy. Nemesis effect. 2 wounds to the party. This time, I'm going to do 1 for him, 1 for her, I think. That means she's at 10, he's at 11. Okay, good. And then we got, so no attack. 1 success for the location. Big deal. Draw and resolve 1 dungeon card. I have a note here to myself. Grove of Thorns event. A surge of Gyran. The wind of life infuses this area and fills it with an explosion of growth. The magic knits your wounds, but the tearing thorns prick your flesh, recover 3 wounds, and become bleeding. Ignore initial. I don't know what that means, but I bet it didn't happen, so. Oh, yeah, I know what it means. So now she's bleeding. Oh, because I know what it's like. I was suggesting that I don't have them bleed on the first turn, but now I kind of disagree with that. Okay, carrying on. You may suffer up to 2 wounds to claim 1 success for each wound suffered. I think I will, honestly. If we make it through this, we heal all our wounds in the location step or phase or whatever. And then ready all your actions. Okay, she's locked and loaded. After your activation, suffer 1 wound. I will. Plan hard mode. Something awesome that I've discovered is I'm not afraid to put a little permanent marker on my components of games that I know I'll never sell. And if I change my mind, especially because these have like a sealer on them, just take a little lighter fluid, my #1 go-to chemical to clean everything, and a cotton swab or a Q-tip, and just slowly rub that right off of there. It looks good as new. It hasn't failed me yet. And it leaves absolutely no damage. Okay, that was the Bright Wizard. Yippee. Okay, flip that over. Okay, now. Only by being aided can she be cured of bleeding. And that's the only thing he can do. Aid. Before this action, you may engage one enemy engaged with the target hero. Nah, I don't think I need to do that. I think I'm gonna aid the warrior priest instead. I'm still not gonna pull his enemy off of him, but the target hero may ready one action. Let's roll first 1 dice for aid, 1 for the enemy engaged. Okay. Nemesis effect, the party takes 2 wounds. I'm gonna give 1 to the Bright Wizard. 7, 11. I'm gonna give 1 to the Iron Breaker. Okay, that's done. 1 success per aid. Going over to the Warrior Priest. I want to put it on Explore, because that's what I want to do next, and then he can ready 1 action. And moving over to his activation. He's empowered, so it's not even going to cost him any money. Hell yeah. He's going to explore. So 2 dice for his action, 1 for the enemy that he's engaged with. +1 to his successes. Oh yeah, and 1 shield. So, first of all, this guy attacks for 1. The empowerment gives him bonus 1 shield, so it's blocked. +1 success here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, of course, 5. And I don't need to exhaust this. So 5 progress on the location. That brings us up to 6. It's looking pretty good for what it is, but this game turns sour real fast. So we'll see what happens. That's the end of his turn. Now it's the Bright Wizard's second turn. Still bleeding over here, guys. Still bleeding. I think what I want to do, first of all, Oaken Circlet, heal 1. I'm going to do a Fireball today. You may engage 1 enemy. No, thank you. Before this attack action, you may suffer wound to target 1 additional enemy. That's more like it. Let's fire it up. Fire it up. Put 2 successes towards the thingy. She's going to target this guy and this guy. 1 enemy dice for the guy she's engaged with. Come on. Not bad. Unfortunately, another Nemesis effect. 10. I think I'm just going to have... He'll take 1. And the Iron Breaker will take 1. Then, so no attack incoming. That's good. This is invalid. 4 successes to distribute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Darn. Really could have used 1 more. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this guy's got 1 wound left, and this guy is out. And then the end of her activation, she's going to take a bleeding damage. Shoots at 8. Now, it's the enemy phase. Starting with the Bright Wizard. She's going to activate the enemy engaged with her. Inflict 1 wound. And Goblin Warrior. Pray. This enemy engages the hero with the most wounds. So let's see. 10, 11, that's 6 plus 4 is 10. Less than 10. 9. Okay, so this guy's going to move over here and then exhaust. Moving to the Iron Breaker, he's going to activate the guy in the shadows. Oh man, Gigantic Spider Elite. Inflict 2 wounds. Ouchie McGouchie. Ensnare. If the enemy is in the shadows, exhaust 1 action. So this is kind of cool. He can't exhaust any more actions because he can't exhaust his swirly bob 1 and then retreat and then exhaust. So could have been worse. Finally, the Warrior Priest activates the clan rat. It's going to be advance. He's already engaged, and then inflict 1 wound. So that's 12 wounds on him. And then exhaust, and then all the enemies are going to ready. And here comes... Well, first let's go to the location. At the end of the location phase, spawn 1 enemy. So 1 enemy is going to spawn on the torchbearer, giant bats. Then the peril phase, moving the tracker to its final location. The goblin leaps again into your midst, his shank slashing at you repeatedly. Spawn Odious Grump. If he is already in play, he recovers all wounds regardless. He activates and readies, then he activates and readies again. Damn, see, like that's intense. So goes on to the torchbearer, activates, that's 2 wounds. Then pray, this enemy engages the hero with the most wounds. Once again, 12, 15, that's 5, 9, 5, and 7. So he's going to move over to the warrior priest and inflict another 2 wounds. So now it's, 12, 13, 14, wait, 3, 9, 12, 14, 3, that's 7, 5, and 7, so he'll stay, and then exhaust, and then ready again. Brutal. That was the end of the peril phase. Always mix it up. Then the torch is going to move to the iron breaker. And it's pretty much, this is it. Don't get scared now. Unfortunately, all he has is aid. She needs aid. Let's start there. Before this action, you may engage 1 enemy. Engage with the target hero. Okay. I think that's okay. Then we're rolling for aid for the Bright Wizard. We're going to discard bleeding. Damn. No successes, and he takes a wound from the giant bats that he pulled over to him for some reason. He's at 6 wounds. The target hero may ready 1 action, fireball of course, and ready all of your actions. Okay, over to the warrior priest. I think I'm going to try and reduce some of this pile on me. You may engage 1 enemy. I think I've got enough, thank you. Before this action, you may exhaust another action to target 1 additional enemy and apply 1 success. We're going to exhaust Explorer. We're gonna try and ride on destroying Odious to get the last 4 we need. So I'm gonna target both these guys, and I get +1, and then this one. 3 enemy die. Oh god, that was awful. So 2 wounds incoming. Let's do 1 here and 1 here. Then the enemy with the most highest attack power is going to attack for 2. He got 2 shields, so it's negated. And only 1 success to distribute. This guy has a resilience of 1, so it wouldn't even do anything. Let's take out the Goblin Warrior. Rough. Challenging, though. I mean, it's making my blood pump. My blood is pumping blood like it should. Okay, Bright Wizard. Recover 1 from the open circlet. Or should we just start exploring? We don't have to defeat Odious. During the location phase, the chromosome is fully explored. Well, I don't want to explore with her because she doesn't have good stuff there. This is tricky. Another option would be to try and concentrate our fire on Odious. He's gonna take some stuff. I'm gonna do something crazy, I think. I'm gonna aid the warrior priest. Two successes on his attack. The target hero may ready one action and may suffer one wound to claim one success and ready one additional action. He's got, oh yeah, so we're doing it like this. 10, 14, 3, 7 wounds left. Yeah, I don't think I need to do that. I was thinking I would, but he's already got full attacky enough. Okay, moving on to the next turn. Activation is the Iron Breaker. We could use some more treasure. I'm making mistakes because I'm floundering back and forth between decisions, but I think I'm gonna explore with him actually. Because he could use a piece of gear. It's 1 wound from the giant bats. 2 successes on the exploration card. That's at 8. Draw 1 dungeon card, either resolve it or exhaust an action to put it on the bottom of the deck. Come on, treasure. Nope. Despair. The burdens of your quest lie heavily upon you. Suffer 1 wound, discard 1 success, and exhaust 1 action. Or, exhaust 1 action to put this on the bottom of the deck. And exhaust rest on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, so it doesn't go into the discard pile. Ouch. Enemy phase. If we can, well, someone will survive this round, I think. Starting with the Iron Breaker. Giant bats. Retreat and inflict. That's 1 wound. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 wounds. Damn. I'm gonna activate Odious, inflict 2. That's 16, 1. That's only 5 wounds left. And then pray. So 5, 9. That's 5, 2. And this is 9, 12, 15. That's 3. So he's going to stay where he is. I'm going to exhaust. Bright Wizard, Gigantic Spider. Inflict 2 wounds. That puts her at 3 health. Ensnare. If the enemy is in the shadows, exhaust 1 action. I'm gonna exhaust her fireball. And then retreat. Nothing here. And then here, advance and inflict 1 more wound. I think that means he's at 4, 10, 16, 17, 4 wounds left because of the armor. Location phase. Spawn 1 enemy. On the Iron Breaker. Giant Bats Elite. Peril phase. Nothing happens. It's already at the end. So does he heal all wounds? If the peril token is on the last space, it remains there. However, still resolve any peril effects triggered by the last space. So, Odious Grump. Oh crap. So there's no point trying to kill him, because he's just going to heal every time. And if I had known that, we could have explored a little bit more. And I easily could have gotten it to 10. But so he's going to heal, activate, and wait, hold on. So these all ready first. Then the location phase. That guy spawns. Then the peril phase. He is going to activate, then ready. So that's 2 more wounds. 19. So he's at 2 health. And then pray. 10, 11, 3 health. 2, 3. 15, 3. Let's do... I don't have a coin to flip out here. I'm just going to put him on her because she has a better chance to survive. And then he's going to inflict, 2 more wounds and then activate again. He's going to move here and then ready again. Holy crap. Then back to the hero phase. Damn, it's too bad I didn't read ahead to realize that the final level of peril will just activate over and over again. So it's pretty much impossible to beat him and get the last 4 points to do with that technique, and it's kind of critical to remember that, I would say, in my opinion. So I may let us slide. I don't think there's any penalty if we die, but we'll see. I might give us a little buff because we would have had this on that last round. For example, like, why is this guy buffed to fight now when I know that it's pointless? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pretend I knew what I was doing. And then we're going to explore with 2 successes. So that's already enough to hit 10. Peril, I don't know. I'm getting lost in this. 10, 13, 1. Yeah, okay, so sure, we'll do that. Okay. No attack incoming. That brings us up to 10 on the exploration. Draw and resolve 1 dungeon card. Divine Blessing event. The gods of chaos are not the only gods, nor yet the mindset. Have faith and you will persevere. Claim 1 success. If you have suffered wounds greater than half your health, claim 1 additional success. I certainly have. Let's put him on rest. Okay, Bright Wizard. She's gonna heal 1. She has 2 big wounds left. I guess she'll just rest. Nothing. Okay. Iron Breaker. I guess he'll attack, targeting up to 2 enemies, so I could pull someone. Let's pull this guy. So 3. Wow. God, that was not great. So 2 wounds incoming, 1 blocked. And then 1 outgoing. Put it on this guy. I forgot to choose targets, but that's okay. It would have been these 2 guys. So, let's see, 9, 15, 16, 17. He's at 1 hit point. Back to the Warrior Priest. You may exhaust 1 non-nemesis enemy engaged with you. And rest. I'm going to put those 2 towards that. So he doesn't attack since he's exhausted. Heal 4 wounds. That's nice. Ready all actions. Okay, enemy phase. Starting with the warrior priest. Giant spider. Inflict 2 wounds. So let's see, that's 10, 16, 18, minus 1, plus 4, so it's 3 health. Ensnare, exhaust 1 action. Let's do 8, I guess. It's not really going to matter. So that was him. Then her, there's no valid targets. Ironbreaker. Might as well just let Odious inflict 2 wounds. Let's see. So that's 10, 19. So technically he's dead. Then Prey. 10, 11, 12, 2 wounds here. 10, 16, 18, 3 wounds here. So he's going to move here and then exhaust. That guy's going to go back here. Then back to this guy. Giant Bat is going to retreat and inflict 1 wound. And then exhaust. And then, so for right now, this guy is out of action. Then we're going to ready all our enemies. And on to the location phase where we easily would have been on the last turn. And we resolve the victory condition. I think this might be the only time I've beaten this quest. I think I might have beaten it once more. I might be getting mixed up with Drive-Thru Review, because I just watched his video last night. Victory. During the location phase, if Grump Stump is fully explored, resolve reward on the back of this sheet. Screaming curses, the goblin flees into the darkness. I's gonna get yer. Just your wait. You briefly pursue, but he quickly draws out of sight. Cleanup is no small task, but you secure the remaining barrels. It may take a few days, but Chomp's water should flow clean again soon. Add Odious, Grump, and 1 legendary fortune gear to the campaign pool. I will. So we add to the treasure, we add this legendary fortune card. Whoever draws it gets to draw from there. Each hero comes with a small selection of legendary gear. I think it's 3 or 4 different items that they can find. So, okay, and then we're gonna, Odious Grump will show up again as kind of a regular enemy in our next quest. Now, we would go on to the location phase, and I'm gonna do that right now. So we're on the location phase between quests. And they're in the settlement stage. There is you can do 2 things. Let's see, upgrade. Each hero resolves 2 settlement actions in any order, and I think you can do the same one twice. Visit the trainer. The hero replaces 1 action of card of his choice with the advanced version of the action. Visit the blacksmith. The hero draws 2 cards from the gear deck. He may choose one to equip and discard the other. If the gear deck is suspended, the hero cannot visit the blacksmith. Visit the arena. The hero increases the limit on the amount of gear they can equip by 1. So I usually pretty much always do the same thing, which is increase the gear capacity for each hero by 1, from 1 to 2, and swap out one of their actions with the advanced version. And this step, the swapping out, is really fun to me. We're already familiar with this, guys, right? Let's see, Ironbreaker, rest, explore, attack, aid. Aid, attack, explore. Really great art on these cards, man. This is such a great game. It's just so tight. This is only the second, like, time I've played it. Not, I played it more than one sitting, but like, since taking it off the shelf. Nevertheless, okay. So with the warrior priest, I'm really tempted to increase his aid because first of all, it goes up to 3, so he really can boost another hero, and he heals 2 wounds and the target hero. That's really good. So I think that's a no-brainer. Well, maybe it is a brainer, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I should read what happens if you're taken out of action. I will later, off camera, because I feel really good about that decision of recognizing that Odious Grump is basically not defeatable in the last round. And I mean, it is possible, but I certainly wouldn't have chosen that. Now, the Bright Wizard. She can get quite a boost to her rest, which is great. Flamestorm. He may engage one enemy. Ranged attack. Before this action, he may target up to 2 enemies and may suffer up to 2 wounds to target 1 additional enemy for each suffered. So she could target up to 4 enemies. I'm gonna do that. Flamestorm, baby. A ball of fire is a fine start, but I think we can do better. That's nice. What does his sassy statement say? Blessed to lead. It is from Sigmar that the authority to rule is drawn, and to Sigmar that all fealty flows. I don't know what fealty is. Whatever. I'm sure it's something dramatic. Let's see. Now, lastly, the Ironbreaker. He may engage up to 3 enemies. 3 attack dice. You can target up to 3 enemies. So, like, relentless charge. Aid. Oh, that's kind of cool. When you aid, you can pull someone off of your friend and exhaust them. I like that. Ancestral Oath. You may exhaust 1 non-nemesis enemy card. Engage with you. Rest is 3 plus 3 shields. Explore 3. Draw 1 dungeon card. You resolve it. Put it on the bottom of the dungeon deck for no cost. Okay. Big Attacky or Big Exploro? She got the Big Attacky this turn. I think I'm going to go for the Big Exploro. Brave the Ungrim Encore. I will. There are still treasures to be found in the Underrealm for those with the courage to look. That's got to be some taken from Lord of the Rings. If I only remembered all of the... I finally read those books and memorized all the locations, and then, of course, after a few months, I don't remember any of it. Okay, so that brings us to the conclusion of my first playthrough, Warhammer Quest, the adventure card game. Quest 1 of 5 in the campaign, inside the box. I highly recommend this game if you can't tell already, and if you hung out with me and took a look, maybe it's something you might want to pick up. Until we meet again, cheers.